Hey guys, after 250 games, just straight up veteran, I figured what way to end the last couple of videos that you'll see with me on my veteran than to just go over my build, go over my weapons, showcase a little bit of how it does on Damnation, and a few other things. So for this episode, I'm just going to go over my weapons and my build and explain why it works for Damnation and why it works for me and how it could work for you if you don't like the current meta builds of like grenade spam or bleed spam or anything like that. So let's hop into our weapon. So to start off, I'm obviously taking the power sword because I am not taking the bolter, which kind of relegates us to where we're at. So I have 80 damage, 78% cleave, 79% cleave targets. I got a decent finesse and mobility. The perks that I have are the two best for the sword that I need, which is Carapace and Flak. And then the blessings are pretty decent, considering the cleave nerf. So it gives me a little bit more damage and a little bit more cleave to hit more enemies with it. The next one is my XII, or 12 lasgun, whatever you want to call it. 20% flak, 8% range damage on elites. Got its Ghost and Respite. Both are pretty decent. They're not the greatest, but they do help out in situations where there are. It does help in situations where there are both a lot of gunners or just bulwarks. After somebody has stunned them, then I can get some extra damage off on them. I'm running at 2 plus 19% max healths because I wasn't able to find 20% and just figured they were just good enough. And plus 1 wounds. They're not the best. But I will go over what would be preferable for me if I could just customize and make one to my own liking. I would get combat ability cooldown. I'd get damage resistance against gunners, snipers, and against monstrosities if I can. There was a perk list. I don't remember all of them that I did earlier in one of my other videos that you can go check out. Link will probably be down in the description. But I have 90% max health. I got a 4% max health that I need to change out. I got damage resistance bombers and damage toughness regeneration. It helps out significantly, especially with my perks that we'll be talking about later about toughness. The plus 1 wounds, just because having an extra down just in case things go south makes you a little bit more viable on the higher levels. And this one also has toughness regeneration speed. I think it's a pretty decent one. It's mostly just because of, again, one of my perks that I'm taking, that it allows me to kind of stay in the battle a little bit longer and peek my head out a bit more. And then combat ability regeneration, also very key. I've been testing out revive speeds for ally. It's a little hit or miss here, but like I said, these aren't as optimal as I would like them to be. And then this one is my more optimal one that I've actually fixed. 90% max health, 15 damage resistance against gunners, 15% damage resistance against the snipers, and then combat ally or combat ability regeneration. Popping over to our feats, I will go over them one by one and explain why I'm taking them. Confirmed kill gives you 25% toughness on elite kill and a further 25% toughness over time, which that 25% toughness over time regenerates significantly faster with the perk on the curios that I have. So it makes it pretty quick on giving me enough toughness to survive on Damnation. Sniper, again, I'm not using the bolter, so this allows me to pick away at elites, especially when I use my combat ability. Gives me a lot of damage, and I'm able to 1 or 2 tap most of the non-Ogren enemies, except for Maulers, but that's obviously because they're flak and you gotta shoot their chest instead of their head. But even then, it takes me about 5 shots to down them before they have any issues. Bioptic targeting, I take this because most of the time, if not the entire time, you should always be in coherency with your teammates. And nothing in any video game is more powerful than information. When you are able to designate information for your teammates, whether it's verbally or non-verbally, it adds a lot to your success meter on how you're going to do in a mission. But also this pairs well with my 30, where I choose 50% damage on Ogrins and Monstrosities. And it also designates them as priority targets. And it also, in conjuncture, works with the 15 ability, where now it marks Monstrosities and Ogrins with that ability. Not sure if it's supposed to work that way, but it does. So that's a good thing to keep in mind, because that also just gives more information. My level 20 ability, I do not take active camo. The reason I don't take active camo is because there's almost always another veteran on your team. And if you both run active camo, there's a current bug with it where if you both run it, you have the highest aggro in the game. It's kind of like Civ 6 with Gandhi. You know, Gandhi's supposed to be so passive, but if you do something, it flips him and makes him the most aggro person in the game. Go figure. But it's essentially the same idea. So I never run active camo. Instead, I pair this with my level 25 perk, Deadshot. And the reason being, I gain 75% toughness damage reduction, which couples well with me killing elites in the first place to gain my toughness back. But then on top of that, I also get 25% increased critical hit chance and sway reduction. And I don't need the stamina, because typically there's at least a Psyker with an electric staff because they're playing meta. Or there's a Zealot with his Eviscerator, or even Thunderhammer, because both are very good options right now. For different reasons, but let's say they're just doing mobbing, the Eviscerator. They have an Eviscerator. That means I don't really need to dodge enemies. They'll be taking care of a lot of the frontline stuff for me. And that is my build of my weapons. If you guys are interested, you can try it out. Leave your comments down below. See if you like it a little bit better than all the other stuff. And I hope you guys take care and stay awesome.